Alrighty, everybody, welcome back to the Bears Den. How's everyone doing today, guys? It's Tuesday, it's talk show time. You guys ready for some fun of the video game talk show known as Smarter Than AI? I hope you guys are, because Alex and I are both ready. And, well, we plan on having fun. I mean, that's part of what streaming is, have fun. It also just so happens that, really, during this talk show, pretty much everything is fair game, including the simple fact of just kicking back and drinking some beers, because why not? The world's stressful enough as is. Let's relax. So cheers to everybody out there. Let's kick back and enjoy some beers as well. For the most part, basically we talk about video games, things in the industry, as far as current events, what we're looking forward to, what we're what we like in games, what we don't like in games. For the most part, we cover a lot of the news that's going on in the industry, though, because it helps us effectively better understand trends that are happening and just see what's going on. And by all means, please feel free. If you have opinions on stuff or questions that you feel that you would like to get answered, speak up. Let us know. We'd love to answer them for you. But yeah, we do this every Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern time. And so show on up, bring a beer, or whatever drink you want at the time. Perfectly fine. Savage, welcome. How are you? Hope things are going well for you tonight. But, I am good, so let's see if he is good, and, alright, he's good too.
Hello!
Hello!
Don't even ask me what that intro was, that was so terrible. Mine was bad.
What intro?
Yeah, thank you. And like as I was taking a slash, I realized that I muted myself but not deafened myself, and I was like, "Oh shit! If he goes live, they're gonna hear on my stream you, but still have like the coming soon thing." So that's why I like ran out of here with my pants down and like Butters from fucking South Park.
It's a good thing that whenever on Discord, especially leading up to the show, I both mute and deafen myself.
Mm-hmm.
So, you're lucky.
Yeah. I definitely only hit F9 and then was like, all right, I'm good. Like, I didn't hit both the keys like a dumbass. But, it's fun to be yourself, I guess. And I appreciate the people who like me for me.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So how are things going for you as far as the rest of the week, though?
Things are good. Things are actually really good. I'm weirdly happy, which is nice.
Nothing wrong with that.
Well, for me, it's like I'm always looking for like the fucking the other shoe to drop kind of a thing. But that's my own shit.
It's just how people are sometimes.
Yeah, it's just how I am. But other than that, I got some really good forward movement with the selling of the board games thing, which is really great.
Cool.
I got some big meetings coming up, which is really cool.
Very cool.
Yep. And here's the other thing. This is it's not meant to be, but it's going to sound even more like a shameless self-promotion. I have been having so much fun streaming at 3:00. Having, the average viewers are like 5 to 8, it's mostly you guys, all my friends and like the people who care about, us streamers, like small streamers,
Yeah.
like Savage and Blue and Jake and,
Yeah.
But I've been having so much fun. It's been making it so much more of a blast to play.
Very cool. Very cool. Good.
So yeah, how about you?
Going pretty good here. I mean, the day job is still the day job, so I mean, can't really change much there. Video game wise, though, been having a lot of fun. Yesterday wound up finishing the mage build playthrough on Elden Ring,
Nice.
and because I remembered, hey, after defeating the final boss, I'll just say the final boss because I know I'm ahead of you there. After defeating the final boss, it was like there's a grace point. So I was like,
Oh no shit.
it doesn't just throw you into New Game
New
Plus,
Game
in other
Plus.
words.
Huh.
So it's like, okay,
Did the
tag,
credits roll?
tag the grace point. It didn't even give me an ending yet, was the thing. So it's like, tag the grace point, and then I went into the local files, found my save file, and changed it to read only.
Mm-hmm.
So I could load it, watch an ending, because I thought I had two different endings there. Because I had Ronnie's sign, and then the other thing I could do for an ending.
Ew. Sure.
Which turned out to be two endings there.
Huh.
So yesterday we basically watched 3 of the 6 endings.
Oh, that's cool. That's fun. I'm glad I wasn't there. Not to be an asshole about it, but
No, that's
glad I
fine.
wasn't
That's
there.
fine. But I mean, it's just
Um,
like one of those things that's like, hey, cool, let's take advantage of this little thing I can do to fool
sure.
the game and not save our character, so that way we can
Yeah.
just watch all the endings and be like, hey, cool, that's what they all look like, just in case I don't get through 6 playthroughs on stream of
Yeah.
it, at least. So
Not bad. Yeah.
Blue Savage, welcome.
Hi guys.
Don't believe him, you're
Uh,
never there. Yes, you weren't there today at all. Really, you weren't, Savage.
um, so I have a bunch of fun shit,
Okay.
which is super cool. Some stuff was from last week, but it all still kind of applies and rolls because it's like just fun shit. I'm so
Okay.
glad we're out of Bummer Drummer season. Like, I gotta tell you, like the last what 4 or 5 months of last year, like
Oh god.
every fucking week, it was like,
Mm-hmm.
here's some horrible story we got to talk about. Like,
Yep.
so fun
Yeah,
to be back to fun.
because I'm even looking down my list, and because I kind of forgot what I had for a moment there. I'm like,
Mhm.
that's not a bummer drummer. That's no.
Yep.
I really don't have bummer drummers. I have kind of like point and laugh.
Sure, me
Um,
too. But I mean, no, that's kind of par for the course for us.
yeah, well,
Yeah,
point and roll on the floor laughing is more of par for the course for us. But yeah, it's same
sure,
general premise.
sure. Like while we were fucking around, I didn't say this in my intro, but like while we were fucking around on Discord before we start the show,
Mhm.
we were laughing so much that when I went in there to take that slash, I had to take my like dry towel and like wipe my face down like I was at a fucking like an Atlanta fucking museum. Like, oh god, I'm so hot. Like it was so ridiculous. Like I was sweating my ass off.
Nice,
Um,
nice.
all right, so I'm gonna start.
Okay,
Cool with that? All
cool.
right. So here's the thing. I don't know if you saw this or not. Last week, Sony uh went further into Epic Games with a 1 billion with a B
Mhm.
dollar purchase on shares within Epic Games.
Yep.
They had previously had about 2 rounds. One was like 160,000, I think, and the other one was, I don't know, let's call it 180,000. That is a huge fucking jump,
Oh yeah.
right?
Yep.
Um, it does not change hands. Epic still is Epic. They're still owned by Epic. Sony just owns a big part of it now.
Hmm.
Um, and when I did some research, the Business Insider said that basically the vice president of Sony America said that the reason that they were doing it was to further cement their VR technologies.
Hmm. Okay. So there's a couple of things to potentially read in there.
Right.
Um, One, it kind of is saying that Sony's VR is at least pulling things from the Unreal Engine, if not completely based off of it.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't even think of that. Yes. Yep. I mean, that's certainly a part of it.
Yeah, because I mean,
Uh,
the way VR in general is done, it's not to say it's completely different from regular video games, but there is an extra layer that you have to go through.
right.
Um,
It, ostensibly, it's rendering
yeah,
in real time.
yeah,
Um, and like if you look at shows, I don't know. We talked about this, I think, a long time. We've got to stop saying we talked about this, but we always talk about it.
yeah, we
But
do.
uh, The Mandalorian uses Unreal Engine, and they're in their studio. They don't use green screen. They
Mm,
have this massive fuck off wall of a basically a rounded television set that
mm,
in real time actually produces the backgrounds. So the actors can actually stand on a virtual Tatooine.
wow.
Um, and there's like, because I saw a behind the scenes thing, I watched like 50 minutes of it. I'm such a loser.
Okay.
Um, there's like three technicians that sit there and they move the background as intended, like in real time, and it is actually rendering the landscape. That to me screams VR. Like
Yeah,
that's what it is,
yeah,
right? It's just projecting it on a screen.
yeah. Very much is what it is. That and thinking about it now, it's like, okay, yeah, that I was only thinking video game side of VR, but this is the whole other
Yeah,
side of it too, and it's like, wow,
right.
yeah.
Yeah,
Um, it's funny how you read the article, you thought this way, I thought this way, and we're both like,
right.
oh, holy shit.
Yeah, like because the first thing I thought of, obviously was the Sony one for the PS4,
Yeah,
right? And
yeah,
I'm assuming that probably this means, I mean, this basically says we're going to do the same thing for the PS5.
yeah.
We're going to have a VR headset specifically for the PS5.
Hmm.
Um, but I think that's good.
Hmm.
I really like VR. I think that it needs to be cheaper, lighter, for the love of God.
Yeah,
The PlayStation one's pretty good. It's pretty light. I don't know if you've ever used it,
no,
um, but it's pretty good. It's pretty light. Um, I personally, because I'm a schlub with glasses, um, I want something that fits more comfortably over my glasses. And because I'm a sweaty, disgusting mongoloid, um, I've tried the Quest, I've used the Oculus, I've used the PlayStation One, I've used basically all of them.
hmm,
And a lot of them touch too much of my nose, and
mm,
then like my gross sweatiness will steam up the inside of the like
yep.
just so like we need to still figure some shit out
Oh yeah, yeah.
with VR. But this is we're getting closer every time, plus the price point,
Hmm.
plus the USBs, or if it's not USBs, it's the amount of like actual cables that go into your power sockets. Like I don't want to fuck with cameras. I like the new uh Facebook one because it's got cameras on it, and
Mm.
it's reading the environment, so basically you don't backhand a 5-year-old, which is something that all of these technologies should have.
For one thing, I
Um
thought you were gonna say something that every parent wishes they could do.
oh, the virtual headset, I didn't see you, darling.
Yeah,
um but like these hurdles need, and like just in general we need to kind of streamline the technology a little bit more.
yeah, yeah.
um because I really do think that VR is definitely a huge step technologically for gaming, even
Oh yeah.
even for media.
Hmm. Hmm.
I got a buddy Bobby. He doesn't watch this show, so we can tell a story. He buys the first Oculus, and it's got the camera rigs and the fucking cords are everywhere. Like if you spun around in this chair right now and I was in it, I could like hang myself.
Oh yeah,
You
same
know?
here. Yeah.
Yeah. Which some people might be into. But he's showing me all this thing, and this is the other thing. Like we need games for it,
Hmm.
not experiences. Not me fucking picking up a banana and then rotating it
Yeah,
and
and be
like,
like,
what am I?
oh my god, it's a
I
banana.
know,
Yeah,
right? Oh God, I'm orgasming right now looking at this 3D banana.
yeah.
Um, so I was like, so how much was this? And he was like, all said and done, about like 1,200. And I was like, you spent $1,200 on this, and we played like a tower defense game with like crappy looking graphics. I was like, was this about the pornography? And he was like, look, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, and I'm like, okay, that also makes sense.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, so, yeah, so this is just interesting. Sony's going big towards the VR thing.
yeah,
It's interesting.
yeah, definitely. And Epic typically is more known for their software side of things, not necessarily hardware. So
Right.
that's very interesting because like my biggest complaint with a lot of VR games, if you want to call them that, is moving is either, hey, I'm using a controller and moving. Oh, I need to turn. Okay, now I can, and, like, just so it doesn't feel disconnected. Or it's kind of like, oh, hey, I need to run over there. Point and click.
Boop, boop,
Point and
boop,
click.
boop, boop,
Yeah,
boop. Yeah.
and it's like,
We got to get over that.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
we got to figure out some sort of technology because I don't get motion sickness, but I know a lot of people who can't even play first person shooters,
oh
let
yeah,
alone something where like your eyeballs are telling your brain we're moving, but your ear is like, dude, we're
no,
not
you're not.
moving,
Yeah.
and then you're like,
Hmm.
so there's definitely some more kinks to be worked out there, but I think that all of us would like to jerk off in VR. There we go.
One
All right,
story,
that's
and
right.
there we go, folks.
Yes, bam. That could be well. It's not a new record, but
Yeah, I was gonna say it's gonna be hard to beat the like the first story being the topic.
fucking good.
Uh,
Okay. Um. So yeah. So you can go ahead.
okay, cool, cool.
Okay.
Um, let's just make this quick because it's never fun to talk about it about the forbidden topic. Um, don't know if you saw this, but Sega has announced their like long-term plan of 5 years. So I'm
Okay.
not entirely certain how long-term they're talking on that, but their long-term plan with quote unquote super games. Basically these potentially span multiple IPs of theirs. And they're
Okay.
going to incorporate they're looking at incorporating NFTs. So it's already like, did you not learn from everybody else in the
Yeah.
video game
Talk about
industry? You
not
don't
reading
do
the
that.
Yeah.
But then on top of it, they're also looking at incorporating streaming and cloud gaming. Sega, you're not as big as Google.
Yeah.
Google shut down Stadia because it wasn't good enough for their standards.
Right.
Not to mention the simple fact of the infrastructure for everybody to have good, consistent cloud gaming and streaming experiences here in the United States is an absolute giant dumpster fire of poop.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't go there.
I live in a fucking major city, and we still
Yeah,
don't have fucking like Google Fiber. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying?
Oh yeah,
Like, I think I live in the seventh biggest city in all of like literally the United States,
yeah,
and we don't have it yet.
yep.
We're struggling to get 5G for fuck's sake. Like what? And Sega, let's just maybe all right, not to be this guy, but hey Sega, do you remember a thing called the Dreamcast when it blew up in your face and like you shit the bed completely, like to the point where you can't just wash the sheets, you had to throw the mattress away and quit out of hardware?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Basically,
okay, cool, I guess.
yeah.
Yeah, that's really weird. That's a really bizarre. And why? Like Sega, like what like I would almost take Sega going, "Okay, we're coming back into the console market." Before them being like, "Oh, we're going to make these mega games." By the way, have you played a Sonic game in the last decade plus? Like, dude, what are you working like are you going to get me fucking Shenmue 4? Like, come on, man. Like what are we working with here? Like I don't know.
Not a lot of good stuff, that's for certain.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? Fucking Virtual Fighter 6 now in you don't have to have a console. What would he fucking do? Who wants to like okay.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
whatever.
Who knows?
Uh,
Maybe they're gonna like take their virtual fighter and go with put it in actual VR, and that way you can jerk off to it.
Yeah, you know what? No, because that's a good idea. Sega would never do that. They would just offer like a new line of like Sonic colored fucking condoms. Like, you know what I'm saying? Now with spinier tips. Um, all right, that's on me. Okay, that one
Yes,
was on
that
me.
was
Sorry.
so on you. It's not
All
funny.
right. All right. Let's
Ooh.
just move past this. Do you remember months and months ago we were talking about, well, I was talking about how China had completely shut down their approvals for their domestic games?
Hmm.
Okay. So, finally, um, this was, I guess, 2 weeks ago now. China has opened up their department that starts, basically in China. I'll shorthand this if you weren't there for this particular story.
God,
I'm not
no.
reading that chat. I'm not reading that chat. I'm moving on. Um, uh, in China, it works differently. Here, in let's just use America, the UK, Europe, you can just publish anything that any place will publish it. So if you want to make a game and Steam says it's fine, you can totally do that. In China, you actually have to go through the government, so the government can okay the title. So they had a problem last year where that department shut down for 9 months. During that shutdown, so I went and I got some numbers because I'm a loser. Um,
You nerd.
yeah, I know. Well, you know, last September, Tencent and Netsy, both the biggest Chinese video game companies in their country,
Hmm.
lost $60 billion because of this.
Wow.
Yeah. Um, so they were, I'm sure, like, okay, get your shit together, like start because you're
Yeah.
still making games during this time, even though
Oh
you
yeah.
can't publish them.
Hmm.
So you're paying everyone on staff, you know what I'm saying, like to continue working. Um, so only 45 licenses have been awarded so far, which is a tiny percentage considering the size of the country and what they're making.
Right. Right.
Um, but I guess cool, like that's something. The only reason I care about this so much is because people work on games,
Oh yeah.
like,
Yeah.
and I don't want people to lose jobs and shit. Like that's lame. So here's the interesting thing. One of the reasons that the new approvals took so long is because of more stringent content restrictions for games that can be accessed to minors. We talked about that, right?
Hmm.
Like how in China, kids can only play 3 hours during a week,
Yep.
and it can only be on the weekend. Um, and it led to this gray market of I'm 18, I sign in with my government ID, and then I could sell my account for individual games to children, which let's just start with that whole sentence. That sounds awful,
Yeah.
like, right?
Yep.
Um, but that I guess was actually the Chinese parent group that was concerned about it. So it was
Hmm.
actually not so much the government, it was actually Chinese parents who were pushing it,
Interesting.
which we didn't get that side of it last time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. It's interesting.
Hmm. It actually is really good that it was the parents pushing for the
Right.
restrictions and not from the government, to be
Right,
honest.
because some of the old things were like, men looking too feminine and shit. Remember we talked about that story?
Yep. Oh yeah.
Like that shit's fucked up. If it's parents being concerned about their children's rights, I totally understand.
Yeah.
Like I get it.
Yeah.
Like, well, I more so understand it.
True.
Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
that is true.
like so. Anyways, I just thought that was an interesting follow-up story and I just wanted to, spit it out there.
Very cool. Very cool. Um. Well. Hmm. You know what? Let's go with this. Um. Do you know who Sean Murray is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. For those of you who aren't aware, he is effectively like the brainchild behind No Man's Sky. Well, during the whole lead up to No Man's Sky, he was also the project lead and lead PR person.
Right. He was the voice.
not a good combination, considering he was saying, hey, we're gonna have this and this and this and this and like all these things, and the game launches and like a
None
tenth
of
of
it.
what he promised is actually in the game.
He Peter Molyneux'd it.
Oh, he big time did that. But the thing is, though, apparently you know that saying, those who don't learn from history are doomed to repeat it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
He's already come out and said and tweeted and all sorts of stuff. They at Hello Games are working on a new, very ambitious project. And it's like, oh no, someone get him off the stage now.
Dude, I saw an article, I think it was Rock, Paper, Scissors, and it just said back on his shit again. And I was like, oh my god, dude.
Yes.
Like, how much of a fucking reputation of a blowhard do you have to have that publications in their titles are like back on his shit again? Like, god damn, dude. And Fable, that's another good, yeah. Peter Molyneux was like the
Oh
same
god.
way, like, and I used to think that it was like Peter Molyneux, because there was an article way back in the day from EGM, and they had specifically said they caught him outside the pub.
Mhm.
And I was like, I used to be like, oh, well, you know, when I get drunk, I get a little grandiose too. I will be taking no further questions at this time. Conversation over. But like, you know, he'd come out of the pub and he'd be like, oh, it's gonna be every single thing you've ever wanted from every RPG. And now this is like the new version of that. This is like, and
Yep.
again, you're right. It's the history repeating itself thing.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
buckle
exactly,
up,
Blue.
kids.
Exactly, Blue. Motherfucker needs to stop talking.
Right? Seriously. And who is like, after that whole huge debacle, who was like, yeah, dude, you should still be the mouthpiece? You know what I'm saying? Like, no, like it took them 5 years to gain back some bit of the audience that like they like completely totally pissed off.
Mhm. Oh yeah.
Now, granted, all those lies did sell No Man's Sky like what 5-10
Oh yeah.
million copies.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you know, like
Yep. Yep. And realistically, it was also a thing of pretty much everywhere it was not discounted. It was full price for the longest damn time.
right,
And
$60.
yeah. So it's like, holy shit. But then finally it started coming down in price, and it's like, okay, cool. So
So I got another one of these like kind of back on its shit things.
okay.
Okay. So did you see Kingdom Hearts 4 was announced?
Yes, I did see that.
Okay. I have a couple of things I want to talk about here.
Okay.
One, can I give a big shout out, a rip? Can we get an F in the chat for Sora's gigantic clown feet?
Yes.
He now has
too.
normal.
Yep.
Yes, he now has normal shoes. It's kind of sad, like a little tear, like, but it's in big clown shape. That's kind of sad, but you know, I kind of get it. Whatever.
Yeah.
But people literally were like, "Oh, giant clown shoes are gone."
So apparently
Okay.
he stopped going to Goofy for his shoes.
Right. Like he stopped buying them at like fucking actually like Walt Disney World. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even want to talk about Beyond Good and Evil 2. How many fucking goddamn trailers were we having? How many E3s were they like, still coming? It's like, yeah,
Yeah.
okay. I'm gonna put that in the fucking
Duke
pile.
Nukem Forever still coming.
Hey, Duke Nukem Forever actually did come out. How about Half-Life 3?
True.
Like, you know what I'm saying? That's the pile that belongs in.
But they've never said that they were working on Half-Life 3.
That's true.
So
That's true.
it's the
That's true.
fans disappointing themselves.
Valve can't count to 3.
True.
So big shoes, big sad. Like that was my note. Big shoes, big sad. The other thing that was interesting that I saw, some of course Redditor like, you know, spy-eyed neckbeard. I don't know why I always do that shit to Redditors. Spotted in the I said neckbeard. Not long majestic beard.
Okay, good. Just making it clear there.
You're good. They spotted in the trailer in the back of a jungle what looks like an ATST foot. the big huge
Mm-hmm.
walker from The Empire Strikes Back, you
Yep.
know, from
Yep.
from the good days when Star Wars was good. Um, that's kind of crazy, but also totally makes sense to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um,
It's Disney.
well, right. But it sparked this huge rift within the Kingdom Hearts community.
Hey, Alex.
Hey, buddy. Um, so half the people don't think that Star Wars belongs in Kingdom Hearts, and half people are going, "Why not? Like, what is any of the difference here? Like between, you know what I'm saying? Like Vader, like if you gave him a leather coat, he would fit in with the bad guys of fucking Kingdom Hearts easy. Like
Why would you need to give him a leather coat?
he's already got a cloak, you know?
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like he's
Right.
already got the
Okay,
cloak.
fine. Give him big ass
his
clown
outfit is
shoes and he's
leather
fucking
already.
in. Like,
No, just give him the red clown nose, and make sure it squeaks when you squeeze it.
It goes, ha ha. Just to make sure everyone knows who's the overlord here.
Yeah, exactly.
But like honestly, like to me, it seems like I kind of see where some of the people, because some of the people are saying, okay, let's go back to the clown shoes thing. If you are bringing in Star Wars, you're no longer going to be, you know, in the 100-acre woods. You're going to be in a more grounded, realistic, human like type place. So they're kind of correlating loss of big clown shoes. What a weird sentence. To Star Wars coming into Kingdom Hearts. I don't know if that's true, but I kind of see it from art direction wise. It would be really weird if Sora would, like in his old design, was standing next to Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
Like that would be a little jarring.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Although, admittedly, it would probably look perfectly normal if he was standing next to Jar Jar Binks.
Mm-hmm. Right, exactly. And 65 other fucking, you know, what about Bossick? You know what I'm saying? That big fucking lizard fucking dude who, you know, like, I feel like if you picked and chose correctly, that could still meld fine.
Oh yeah.
But it does seem a little weird that they're kind of skewing, like, the art style tradition of Kingdom Hearts specifically to bring in one. But see, that's the thing. It's not one IP, right? Mando could now be in fucking Kingdom Hearts, you know, which, by the way, that shit would be top. Like, let's not deny. Grogu, his ass would fucking, you know, fit in like perfectly, you know?
Oh yeah.
So I don't know. Like, thoughts?
It's definitely interesting in that by even just having that potential look-alike of an ATST foot in the background, that this has driven up so much theorizing and debate over, is Star Wars going to be in there, is it not, and then tying in the fact of they did some touch-ups to Sora. They got rid of, like you said, the clown shoes, which that's
His
kind
hair.
of his iconic, one of his iconic things was the clown shoes. So
Right. Like that and the Keyblade, right?
Yeah.
That and that fucking 1997 wallet chain that I used to have. Like,
Yep.
let's not forget, lest we not forget.
Yeah.
I don't know. It is a little weird, but I wanted to bring it up.
Being that everything that they've used in prior games has been Disney, I don't see why they potentially wouldn't pull in the Star Wars universe to this
$1 trillion
as well.
right.
Yeah.
Like, it's $1 trillion IP that you personally are sitting on.
Right.
You know? Now Square, let's talk about this for a hot second. What do you think the check is going to look like from Squaresoft to Disney now?
Yeah. That's
right?
the other thing, is it's like, how much is Square wanting to pay to be able to use these IPs? And it's like,
oh my god, can you imagine how big that check is going to have to be? Like, there's like spider eyes level of fucking numbers of zeros, you know?
Yeah. It basically would wind up being a thing of, oh, hey, look, here's the profits for the game. Just send the check directly over to Disney and give us like 2 cents.
Yeah. Thanks for the credit. Like, you know.
Yeah.
I also
just
was
as a free
wondering,
promo.
right. I was also wondering, just like last thing, and then we'll stop harping on this. Um, I Do you think they're going to change the combat style if they are going a little more grounded? I feel like the combat style would almost have to be more like Final Fantasy 15 than watching Sora's butt float around like, the arenas and I don't know. That's taking new school Square like art styles
Yeah,
kind of.
yeah.
Isn't that gonna clash with that big dumb UI that, like, frankly, I still like, I love 1 and 2. I kinda like 3, it was, like, okay, but I never even finished it. But the UI is uggo, right?
Mm.
It's big and cartoony and colorful, which, cute. It matches
Which
what they
also
had set.
tied in to what the previous games had in them, though.
Right,
So
the
it
theming.
kind of went with it.
Right, so what, we're gonna get some edgelord ass fucking UI now, like, that's, like, 13 years old and cutting itself and telling its mom that, like, "You don't understand me!" Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, I
um,
mean,
I don't know. I understand both sides of the coin, I guess is what I'm saying.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
Um, if anything, I hope that they would give some sort of minimalist kind of design to the UI, similar to like what you said with what Final Fantasy 15 has. Um, because I have a feeling that would be better for a transition kind of from the old guard into the new guard kind of a thing.
right, but it would
Um,
be weird watching fucking Sora instant transmission his ass around like the combat in 15,
yeah, it would.
unless you gave us some sort of like, 'cause what how old do you think Sora is? Like, he's gotta be 15, 16, right?
Yeah, sounds about right.
So you'd have to you'd almost have to be like, "Hey, this is now, him in his mid 17, 18 range or something, like, to age it up a little bit."
Hmm.
Um, which frankly, like, look at the people who played those games when they originally came out.
Oh yeah,
The It's not really, like, for kids kind of the same way anymore, even though it totally is because, fucking there was an entire Frozen level where Sora basically wasn't even involved in Kingdom Hearts 3 because of the popularity of Frozen. You see what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah. I mean, I've only played the first one, and it, it's interesting with what I remember of it, and then also seeing people doing, granted, their randomizer speed runs that I'm watching of them, but it's like, yeah, it they honestly would have to change quite a bit. I have a feeling if they want
right,
to have it be just a more uh modern thing.
right, and keep it, like, cohesive.
Yeah.
Welcome to Two Old Men Talk About Topics That They Probably Shouldn't. Alright,
But
here
yet
you
at the
go.
same point in time, I would say we're perfectly qualified to. So
Yeah, and I still am target audience.
yeah.
I bought that fucking 8-pack. I played most of the, SP and Game Boy Advance ones, like, I like Chain of Memories and stuff,
Hmm.
like, so, yeah.
Okay.
Alright, go ahead.
Okay. Um, the one final thing I want to also say on the whole Kingdom Hearts thing here.
Mhm,
Apparently from one of the trailer like teaser videos there, people roughly figured out where this apartment is that Sora has in the video.
mhm.
It's in like one of the most expensive parts of Tokyo.
Right,
And
yeah.
it's like, dude,
It's, like, right
what?
outside the needle,
For
like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
Like,
mean, people are like, okay, for an apartment that size in that area, you're looking at like $4,000 a month rent. It's
well,
like,
maybe
damn.
he came back and, like, had, like, literal gold coins, you know what I'm saying? Like, from all his adventures, who fucking knows? Or maybe he's a hawking keyblades. He gets, like, 7 of them a fucking game, like, you
Yeah,
know?
easily. Yeah.
Yeah.
But all right. I will say this though, we're gonna go back to No Man's Sky just for a quick bit here because,
Why?
huh?
No, I was joking.
Oh,
I was being
mainly
facetious.
mainly because of the simple fact of they came out with another free expansion.
Oh,
They recently released the Outlaws expansion. Basically, it brings in space pirates.
oh,
Downfall. People are actually complaining because like you can set up a base, which is fine. The complaint is one person popped on, went to their base, and in a span of 10 minutes, they were invaded. I think they said it was like 4 or 5 times in 10 minutes. They
Oh,
literally
bounds.
would like take care of one invasion, put up a wall section, and then be invaded again. And it's like, God damn it, what the hell? So,
Oh my god.
I mean, people are loving what it's adding, but it's a thing of it's
Overtuned.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
way too many invasions. Pirates invading your ass, yes, because they
I
are just
actually
nonstop. Apparently,
I had a Ukraine joke, but I held it back. Just
okay,
FYI.
okay,
Like, just putting that out there.
yeah, that probably would be bad right now.
Yeah, it's not fucking cool.
Yeah.
Um, so I want to talk about fucking a ridiculous situation. We never talk about Call of Duty here, like never,
Oh no,
right?
no, never,
No,
never.
we really don't. We really don't. Um, we talk about some ridiculous shit. We talk a lot about Activision Blizzard,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
so I would like to talk about the story that I found about a Warzone pro named Shifty TV. His name's Damian Spirell. But he was accused during a tournament. The guy who accused him was named Blast. 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 It's a terrible, like, that's what I would think was a cool name when I was like a 14-year-old. But you know, they do play Call of Duty. Ba-boom! Anyways, moving on.
Doesn't require much intelligence there.
Yeah. He accused him of using an aimbot during $100,000 Caldera Challenge tournament on the 8th of March.
Okay.
Okay. So basically, this dude says on like social media afterwards, and here's the funny thing. The guy gets accused, Shifty TV gets accused of using an aimbot. They didn't even fucking win. They came in fourth. So okay, that's pretty
Okay.
hilarious. Like
Yeah.
if he was using an aimbot, my god, the rest of his team must have been fucking terrible
Yeah.
to not come in first. But anyways, so here's the fun part. This is the part that I think is funny. Enter a dude named Jake Lucky. So Jake Lucky is a commentator for multiple different esports. And he kind of considers himself, he's kind of like a pompous douche, frankly, but he kind of considers himself to be like a jack of all trades and like a man of honor and like all this shit. But so he heard of these hacking accusations, and he decided that he was going to ask Shifty TV to come in person on April 5th and play a monitored PC live on Jake's stream so that they could prove that he was as good as he said he was.
Okay.
Okay. So he shows up. Now, there's a bunch of stuff here before I go any further with the story. Ooh, man, you are opening up a big can of worms here, right? Like, dude gets accused of cheating. You decide to make a live Twitch streaming event around proving or disproving. Do you remember that show back in the day with William Riker where it was like, fucking believe it or not? You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
and then at the end, he would say, like, if it was a lie or truth.
Yep.
So that's what he was doing here, which is already hilarious to me. So he gets a co-host, and he brought in a guy named John Grogan. This is another little fun part. John Grogan is a polygraph examiner that has been labeled for fraud by the FBI polygraph unit special agent Jack Termico. That's the dude who like literally basically started polygraphing. He's like the best polygrapher in the world. He said this dude is a complete total fucking charlatan, and like the John Grogan had gone on Maury and what was Montel Williams, and you know he's just this fucking circus act that you bring in to polygraph people.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So, the the stream starts, and Shifty is playing on the neutral PC that they knew he had never touched, and it got paused by the polygrapher, John Grogan, and he was going through the results of the lie detector test. Okay. So the viewers already knew that this dude was kind of a sketchy polygraph piece of shit.
Yeah.
And the stream pauses, and it's like they called it like a technical pause or something. So Jake Lucky, the guy who's hosting the event, comes back on the stream and says, we're not going to be able to show you the results. There was like 15,000 people watching this.
Okay, I'm already like, okay, they paused the stream for one. They're sitting here saying they can't show the results. The polygraph guy is like shady as fuck. So
This is just all delightful. This whole thing is delightful. I love this story. Hey, Polly. So basically, the stream then cuts off. He's like, "We're done now." Ever since then, they aired on YouTube and Twitch. The VODs have been completely deleted from both of Jake Lucky's casts or streams. You can't view it anywhere now. Where I got this site, the guy literally was like, I was trying to find it anywhere on the internet, couldn't find it. So nobody like recorded it basically. So later in that evening, Jake Lucky tweeted out he didn't feel comfortable with revealing the test results. What the fuck does that mean? Like, what? Like,
honestly, I have a feeling at this point it was more a thing of he wanted some sort of huge drama.
Right.
And it's like, oh, we got nothing. I mean, that's kind of what I'm assuming is wind up happening here. That, or it's like the test that they were doing, or like, oh, he failed his drug test, and it's like, what? Huh?
Well, I think like it could have come back because like, okay, notoriously polygraphs. I love that we're talking about polygraphs on this fucking show right now. By the way, I gotta say it's one of the reasons I really love this show.
Yeah,
polygraphs are notoriously inconclusive. Like a lot of times that can happen. People can get nervous. Like I would never, like I'll just say this to everyone out there. If you ever have to have a polygraph, I'm assuming probably none of you ever will, get a lawyer. Don't take a polygraph. Your nervous ass will either sink your fucking ship or it'll come back inconclusive, and basically the cops will always go, oh, probably still him, like even though you weren't even there. So just anyways, my legal tips of the day, Alex Quino. I assume that probably it came back inconclusive, which is not good viewing stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's like, do you remember when Geraldo Rivera was like, we found Al Capone's vault. We're going to open it up live on, and they opened it up and there was, the only thing was in it was a chair, one chair. And everyone went, what? Like, you built this hype up and like all this shit and it was one chair. Anyways, so I'm assuming that this kid, let's just say that also his skills were good while they were playing, while he was playing on that neutral PC. He didn't play as well as he did during that Catalina event, but you know, everybody's got off days, right? Like, you know, some days, and especially with all that pressure, like, you know, so okay. I still think. Good.
I was gonna say, plus the simple fact of everyone's used to their own rig. So
That's
it's like, okay, it could have been different mouse or different keyboard.
Even the table.
Yeah.
Like, who knows?
Yeah, exactly.
Air. But my thought is that, like, probably this kid was not cheating. Like, I can't imagine somebody would have the balls to cheat. Now, granted, it was an online event, but, like, man, how stupid would you have to be? Although it has happened in esports several times.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Where motherfuckers have had, you know, some sort of hack on. Man, that's what I'm gonna say from now on. Like when I'm kind of pissed off about something, I got a bit of a hack on. That's gonna be my new phrase.
Word just popped in my head.
What?
Word?
Oh, Word, yeah. Yeah, Word.exe.
Yep.
Yep. So I don't know. I think that this kid showed up, played fine, whatever, and then this shady ass fucking polygraph thing. The whole thing made Jake Lucky just look like an asshole, like Geraldo Rivera.
Yeah.
Where we all went, dude, what a douchebag! Like, what are you trying to be, the circus ring lord of this? And you made an asshole out of yourself in front of fucking 15,000 live people, and then
Mhm.
more now because we're talking about it.
Yep.
So. Anyways, I just wanted to talk about that because I thought that was the fucking biggest circus that I fucking read about in months for us. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
The other thing also, as far as polygraph, one of the things for people to not still, they're not very reliable, but one of the
Right.
ways to make sure you're getting consistent results, the person has to basically be completely still.
Yeah. Right.
You're playing a video game. That's not gonna happen.
Right. But this polygrapher, he was on Maury.
Yep.
Like, what is that?
Yeah.
Like, in Montel Williams and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? He also was a guest polygrapher on Dr. Phil, a real
Oh.
reputable human being.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like this was totally just a fucking media circus
Mm-hmm.
to get some sort of attention to, Jake Lucky, and oh god. And he had nothing to do with it either.
Yep.
He does commentate on Call of Duty, but he wasn't at the event. He had nothing to do with this. He just interjected himself, thought I can get more fame out of this, and then he just walked away looking like a fucking jackhole, Whatever.
Yep.
I just thought it was an interesting story.
Sounds about right for people who always seek attention.
Yeah, exactly. Can I also tell you, my viewership during that was 5,757. Up, back down to 3. Up, back down to 3. Like, it's such a weird story that and we're talking about polygraphs on a video game show. Like, well, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, look, you guys don't want to watch all the aspects? Fine, I'll do it for you.
Alrighty. You know what? Let's go with this one, which is potentially a speedrunning win. Potentially. Metal Gear Solid 3. You played that?
Yeah. Oh yeah, Snake Eater's my favorite one.
Okay. You remember that one part of the game where you literally I've never played it, so I don't know exactly what's going on, but you go into some hangar or some building or something, and you get to a ladder, and it's
the descent.
15 minutes of climbing a ladder.
It's not that bad, but yes.
Well, it seems it.
Yeah.
Well, recently people have tried weird shit, and shockingly, his weird shit has paid off.
Yeah. Because, it's basically a loading screen, right? Like, before we had that kind of a thing.
Yeah,
before
effectively it is. Effectively, it is a loading screen. But what I mean by weird shit is, from what I saw in the video clip, the person, goes up to the ladder, then, goes off to the side of it, turns so their back is to the ladder, does a couple of squats, goes into the menu, grabs food, and then eats the food or something, and then boom, they're at the top. It just zips them all the way to the top of the ladder.
Weird. Because that is supposed to be like a loading screen.
Yes and no. I mean, it is, but it's not. Because it's actually the entire level.
Right.
But the thing is, the reason why I say that this is potentially a win for speedrunning is because you save that whole amount of time. Downfall. It is a very, very, very finicky zip to have happen. And you can also hard lock the game.
Yeah.
Not soft lock, hard lock.
Right. But it makes sense because that ladder sequence is one of the first examples of us trying to use, how nowadays, I'm playing Tomb Raider and there's a narrow crack and then she does this and kind of squeezes through it.
And it's loading the next section in the background.
Right. It's rendering everything that's coming up next. It's faking it.
Yep.
That's the first time that I know for a fact that Metal Gear ever tried that trick.
Yep.
So yeah, it doesn't surprise me because then the fucking game and the console are like, what the fuck are we doing here? You know what I'm saying? Like, we didn't get to render everything at the top. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
So that's
totally
why it would,
understand what you're saying.
yeah,
It is interesting though, because a lot of people are sitting there saying that, hey, it's really only limited right now, like it's only viable to be done in individual level runs, which mainly because of the finickiness and the potential to hard lock.
yeah, because you wouldn't want to do that in the middle of a full
Right,
game run,
right.
right? Yeah,
Especially considering how usually a lot of times it's like, oh, hey, we're 5 minutes in and we're going to hit our first save for the next 45 minutes. We're not saving.
right,
And it's like, oh, shit, you better not
right.
fuck up.
Like, don't do that at GDQ
Yeah.
because guaranteed it would fucking hard lock on you.
Yeah. Yeah. I
You
mean,
know?
one of the marathon luck things is if it will go wrong, if it can go wrong, it will go wrong, especially during
Yeah.
marathons.
Yeah,
So,
and even I have seen that shit over like the last,
oh,
whatever, how many years I've been watching GDQ.
Yep.
So yeah, that is interesting though.
Yeah.
Huh? Well, shit. And I do love that game. That is my favorite Metal Gear. Actually, in
Cool.
fact,
Very cool.
that game is top. Do you want to go one more while I let the DOG OUT? Because he came over and he sat down and he looked up at me like, ah.
Okay.
So,
In that case, I'm just going to tell this nice, quick little funny NFT one,
okay.
which I can pretty much guarantee you don't care about.
All right, good. Well, then there you go. Fucking NFT. Get fucked, NFTs. And I don't care what your company is. Fuck you, NFTs.
Well, this is not really a company doing like, hey, we're incorporating NFTs into our game or anything like that. This is more or less a warning of just don't fucking get into NFTs. While ago, I don't even remember who, I didn't even write down the person's name. Basically, the founder of Twitter posted out on Twitter when they went live, hey, this is our first post, kind of a thing. Some jackass bought the NFT of the tweet for $2.9 million. So let's just start with that stupidity. But then recently he has decided, hey, I'm going to sell this NFT and be set for life because it's the first tweet. Why wouldn't it sell for at least, I don't know, 20 times what I paid for it? So he puts it up for auction and is saying, hey, I'll sell it for $48 million. This NFT. The biggest offer he has gotten to date, $3,600. $3,600. Apparently, he was the only one who really wanted a NFT, a token, and basically a URL link to that tweet. Yeah. He is a complete and total idiot for buying that NFT and now trying to sell it for $48 million.
Yeah, I saw that.
The guy who bought the first Twitter tweet. Yeah, that NFT.
That was,
yep.
Yeah.
He bought it for
he
bought it for 2.9 million and is asking for 48 million. And his highest
the biggest offer.
It was $3,600.
$100. And before that, his highest offer was 260.
Yep.
Somebody will buy it.
It's like, okay, you're an idiot.
Fuck you.
Yeah. Yep. So it was basically more a cautionary tale of don't get into NFTs or really crypto for that matter.
That's right.
So
let's talk. I only have two more. We have some stuff that I also want to just talk about. So,
okay.
But let's talk about do you want to shill for one of my friends for a second?
Sure.
Okay, let's do that. So today, one of my friends, Chris Wingard, has launched his game, The Iron Oath, on Steam. It is a turn-based strategy game with moral choice and delectable fucking pixel art. He has been working on it for 6 years now. Um, and it finally came out today on Steam. I think it's $30 or $20, one or the other.
It is 1999.
$20. If you have any interest in turn-based fighting RPG stuff, I highly suggest you go to Steam and you look up The Iron Oath. Yes, I am 100% shilling it because he is a buddy of mine, but they went through Kickstarter, it got approved. It is a rad game. I have been watching him work on it the entire time. He's awesome, quite a good designer, actually, it turns out. And his other it's like two guys who's how it started, was a pixel artist. So it's kind of got like a dark edge to it. It's kind of dark fantasy. Tons of bloody badass animations for like murdering dudes and spells and shit. Yeah. I just wanted to shill out Iron Oath. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely is interesting. I'm watching the trailer right now, so I'm sorry. I'm not
No,
actually
okay.
seeing you while we
No,
talk.
that's right. That's totally fine.
It definitely is very interesting. One thing that I find really interesting in this, and granted, this is just a little like sales pitch blurb that they've got here, but the simple fact of it's included in there, it kind of piques my interest already. Lead your band as they age, retire, and die. So they did account for like your characters getting old and being like, "Hey, I took an arrow to the knee. I'm done I'm done adventuring here. I'm done," kind of a thing.
Right.
So that's actually kind of interesting.
Yeah, and your choices actually change the overworld and the politics in cities too. Which is really crazy. Like there is a ton of depth in this game. If you are one of those, I like to play slow, methodical, strategy kind of games. I cannot say it enough. I've already bought it. I haven't played it. Well, to be fair, I bought it, but I already had a code. But I bought it. Support indie people.
Yeah.
And it was Humble Bundle is the ones who he ended up getting publishing because they were worried they weren't going to be able to finish it, and Humble Bundle came in and was like, which shows you how much people saw in the prospect of what they were doing.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah. So.
Alrighty.
Also, his brother is Adam Wingard, and he's a director. He directed Kong versus Godzilla.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and he's a really nice guy too. Actually, it's a very talented family. Apparently, I would not. I'm glad I wasn't born in that family. that would have been an unfortunate development for old Aquino.
Alrighty. So let's see here. I've got three left. Three different topics here.
Okay.
So let's just talk about the fun of the Steam Deck.
Oh, sure.
Yes, because the Steam Deck is... Someone actually made some news about the Steam Deck and it's back, so yay. So apparently a modder got his hands on a Steam Deck and decided he wants to play Witcher 3, GTA 5, games like that, in the absolute most eye-blistering settings, like top quality settings ever in 4K.
Okay,
I love that reaction.
That's kind of a big ask for some people's rigs, like let alone a Steam Deck, which is a handheld at the end of the day.
Yep. Well, at the end of the day, it wasn't a handheld.
Okay. Go on.
Well, for starters, One, he he has a YouTube channel. He does this like every so often, puts things out there as far as mods that he's done to hardware and whatnot. So what he did, he took the back off of it to get to the guts of it. And discovered, okay, he can bypass the onboard 3D graphics with a external one going through the M.2 slot, expansion slot for a hard drive.
Interesting.
So effectively, all said and done, he's sitting
He was
here
running it on his PC.
No. He ran the game on the Steam Deck.
Okay.
He had this little thing to take a actual, like, I take a GPU, put it in my computer, and put it on that and connected it into the M.2 slot.
Oh.
However, the Steam Deck does not have enough juice to power. Effectively, it was not an NVIDIA one. It was a ATI, but it was the effective equivalent of the RTX 3090. So like, top of the fucking pyramid kind of
spicy.
thing. Yeah,
that's spicy.
So he had the Steam Deck won't power that.
Yeah, obviously.
So not only is he sitting here with the Steam Deck like just lying on his desk and hooked up to this weird funky graphics card now.
Yeah.
He took a
power supply
for a regular desktop computer, hooked in to the GPU.
He's gonna look really cool on a bus with this shit when he's got a fucking car battery attached to the fucking like goddamn power supply unit.
Well,
he's gonna be the coolest kid in the school.
That's the thing. This whole thing at this point, it's like there is no way in hell that this is remotely portable.
Obviously,
but like, it was more of hey, I wanted to do this.
I want to see if I could do it. Yeah. I love that shit.
Because he then also hooked up a mouse, a keyboard, a 4K monitor.
Okay, at that point, you might as well just fucking. At that point, the Steam Deck it's not even part of it. It's just a screen that's small. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's get a tiny monitor and go. There we go. Look, I plug it in. Like,
he didn't even use the monitor built into the Steam Deck. Is the thing.
Okay. So, like, basically, he took the entire Steam Deck out of the Steam Deck and went, I ran a game with an RTX 3600. Yeah, motherfucker, duh. All you did was just plug everything in. That's fucking stupid, dude. Nerds sometimes have too much time on their hands. Granted, he made a video out of it, so.
The thing is, though, he was still using the Steam Deck CPU. So that's where the bottleneck of the whole system was, though.
Sure. Okay. So, yeah. Okay. Okay. But I mean, this is fucking ridiculous, man. This is like proving that like you could mod a toaster to the point where it's putting out the heat of an oven. Yeah. You could certainly do it, like, but is it practical? No. The only reason you do it is for fucking content, right?
Yes,
like,
exactly.
And I will admit, content is king. That is pretty funny though, but like seriously, like at that point, you shouldn't even call it a Steam Deck. Like that is, he should have just shorthanded the entire thing and just taken out the fucking CPU and plugged it into his fucking PC and been like, there, done. Let's see what this can do. You know what I'm saying? Like that would have been a way faster. I mean, that would have been a 5-minute long video, but that is still pretty fucking funny.
All said and done, he said all said and done, it was roughly about $1,600.
So fucking but again, for a YouTuber and you're making content, and how many views did that video have? Probably in the hundreds of thousands.
Oh, easily, I think.
Yeah,
I don't even remember.
Yeah, I get it. You know, and then God forbid if you got the video sponsored, like $1,600. What do you care at that point? So I kind of get it, but that is fucking ridiculous. Like, I'm going to take the center of a Jawbreaker out and then replace it with another center of a Jawbreaker and see if it tastes any different. It's, I mean, you know, like, that's how absurd that shit is. That's pretty funny.
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty funny. I like my candy metaphor there. Was that good?
You just gave the whole story a candy coating.
Oh, very nice. Well played. What have we got next? Do you have anything on Elden Ring?
Yes.
Okay, you go ahead and do that because I know this is gonna launch into a bunch of talk about that. Or should we save that? Let's save it, right?
Okay.
Okay. Then I'll go with my last one. Um, so while I was actually, man, this makes me sound like such a douchebag. While I was on the Business Insider website reading out on other, yes, exactly. Um, like while I was on Business Insider, I was like, well, I'm on this webpage and it's terrible, by the way. It's like the same, it's like almost worse than Kotaku. With the amount of like pop-ups and just
Oof.
garbage. Like because I'm assuming because it's for rich people. I don't know, rich people like buy shit from Sky Mall, you know? Like that's not a life I live. Anyways, while I was there, I was like, all right, I'll go to the gaming section and see if there's anything else. Um Business Insider reported that Microsoft is looking for a way to incorporate ads into free to play games. Now,
Mhm.
this might end up being a little bit bigger of a conversation here. But what they're looking to incorporate into is free to play games. There is
Mhm.
not much said as to how this is concrete going to be done. So let me just start there. But this has been done before, right?
Mhm.
Burnout Paradise,
Yep.
Saints Row 2
Mhm.
had the Netflix billboards. Um, shit. Look at any fucking sports game.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Like legitimately, any sports
Yep.
game plastered in advertising.
Oh yeah.
Um, so it's not unheard of, right?
Yep.
So what they are saying right now is they are thinking mostly in billboards, and this was the one where I went, okay, in-game radio. Literally phrased that way. So there's two ways you can think of that. One, the horrible way where it's like Spotify, where you listen to X amount of music tracks from within the game, and then an ad plays like I'm on the fucking, listening to 35 to 75 AM. We're on the fucking track with Taco and Farts. Taco, you got anything for me? And he's like, yeah, I'm seeing a big Taco and Farts. And then it's like an ad for 12 minutes, like you're in a car. Or the maybe slightly more elegant way that it may happen, which would be it's a fake radio station, ergo GTA. You know what
Okay.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you're in a car, licensed music is playing, and then one single advertisement plays. That I don't know if that's going to be the case, but um, that is the less horrible of the two options that came to my mind when I heard that. Does that make sense?
Let me throw another option in there that
Sure.
is probably going to be a requirement for either way it goes. Always online.
Oh yeah. Oh, 100%.
Because, I
Um,
mean, the simple fact of if it's always online, that means that they can change out those ads whenever they want.
right.
Which, I mean, if it's just like static billboards, fine, whatever. I don't give a crap. If
Right.
it's like intrusive pop ups that, hey, I've got to click through like these 57 different menus to get to the game and say, fuck all these ads,
Right.
then I'll tell you right now, a lot of people are just going to be like, uninstall.
Right.
Uh,
And the examples that they gave were online free to play games that Microsoft was thinking about adding this technology to. So you're in an online
mm,
free to play game and you are listening to whatever music is in it, and it would start having real world ads. Or you'd be, a free to play online game. Like, let's say their next Forza was a free to play version and you're driving down the strip, the billboards could also be changed. Shit, they might even do that thing. You
yeah.
ever seen one of those billboards that has the triangle pieces? So
Yep.
it's one and then it rotates and then it rotates. So it's three different ads. Ostensibly that in our games. The other thing that kind of freaked me out here was they said this technology is going to be available this year. So they are not, this is something that Microsoft has been working on. Now, again, we've seen ads in video games for hundreds of times, right?
Yeah,
and we're so used to it in movies and shit. Like,
right.
I guess it's like a line in the sand kind of a thing, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Like, if it's overbearing, like every 30 feet, there's a fucking billboard,
Oh God.
right? Like, or,
Yeah.
or you're driving down the road and, you hear fucking Bohemian Rhapsody once, and then it's like literal like FM radio where there's a 12 or 14 minute long ad break for aluminum siding. Plus, that's the other thing I was thinking about, right? This is the other thing I want to have a conversation about. This means also that we're going to have to lean on marketing people who are going to try to skew things that they're going to sell to us as gamers. And how is that, like, is that going to be cringy as fuck most of the time? That probably is definitely going to happen.
Especially considering the simple fact of if they're going to be leaning on marketing people a ton, they're going to have to effectively get information on us as individuals, not just as the player base. So that means that your ones and zeros, they're going to be looking at and being like, oh, you looked at giant monster dongs for 45 minutes. Oh, okay, guess what ads you're going to get in your game for the next 45 minutes?
Probably not the microdong ads. Is what I have
No. Definitely going to be the
But like, let's go back to the sports example, right? So it's they're going to make an online free to play multiplayer game that's a sports game. You're going to see ESPN ads.
Mhm.
You're going to see ads for now. Again, I don't like. I want to keep having this conversation because it's important, right? Like, a big part of this show is like we're talking about what the future of gaming landscape is going to look like, right?
Mhm.
And again, we have seen this before. Do you remember Final Fantasy? Did you play Final Fantasy 15?
Yeah.
By any chance?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you remember when you'd go camping, how there was Coleman's chairs?
Mhm.
Like the specific brand of camping gear, Coleman? And everyone was like, that's a little weird. This is what we're talking about. Like, even cranked up even more.
Yeah.
Mhm. Part of me understands that, especially in free-to-play games, they need to make revenue.
Yeah.
Right?
Easiest way for them to do that is like what they did with Final Fantasy 15. Hey, we have camping gear. Coleman, you guys make camping gear. Do you want to get your name in here?
But Final Fantasy 15, we all paid $60 for.
True.
This is talking about free to play, which I understand. Usually the easiest is make skins.
Yeah.
Right? Like for guns or cosmetics or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So like the biggest thing to me here is if they include this new ad system, right? So live ads can be played on through your music or on billboards or the sides of buildings. Would that lower skin prices? Probably still not. Right. And that's the real fucking kick in the dick here. Mm-hmm. Is that like now we're just going to be getting fucking even more consume and still have to pay $10 for a dope looking skin. Like, what the fuck? If you're going to cram that shit down my throat, $4. I'll give you $4 and I'll listen to you sell me the benefits of this beautiful Yeti cooler. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm cool with that to that balance. The problem is that we are, oh my God, I am 1984ing out here. We are getting really close to a place in the video game landscape where they are just going to cram every single piece of thing is advertised and marketed to. And it's because graphics it's expensive to make video games now. Back in the day, you could basically fart on a fucking disc and it'd be like, yep, okay. And then you would make your money back. But now the production of especially free to play games, it's so risky if you don't instantly have a good install base. And with free to play, you need those people to keep coming back over and over and over again.
Yep.
Let me just pull your tug your shirt, as the kids say. Well, old kids say. Smite is a free-to-play MOBA that is a third person that I love, to be fair. But they have a really interesting way that they do it. They get outside branding deals with established IPs and make skins based on. So, for example, they had a run where they had licensed Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle skins.
Mm.
Some of them were, they had two sets. One that was based on the Nickelodeon one that was currently running. They looked pretty dope. And they basically just chose characters who would have move sets that kind of fit the characters. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. They also did a second run that was based on the comic set. And they were cell shaded, they were black and white. I might have bought those. Dude, they were dope. Recently, they just had a Transformers one, and they're basically Gen 1 cell shaded Transformer skins on characters. Again, this is inoffensive to me because yes, you are clearly trying to advertise to me, right? Nickelodeon, the next set that they did for Nickelodeon was The Legend of Korra. Then they did the original Avatar. That's fine to me. Like, and frankly, if I have to pay a little extra for a skin for, let's say, Korra on a character that I play, I feel like that's what marketing asshole would say, the synergy, right?
Yeah.
That's fine. That's unintrusive.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
This sounds like literally I'm gonna hear ads for Turtle Beach headsets. They're the best in, like, I literally just worked in the room. like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
this shit is coming out this year.
Yeah, and that's the other thing is with them sitting there, with Microsoft sitting there saying that it's coming out this year.
Right.
That tells me this is something that they've been working on for a while already. It's not something that they're literally just being like, oh, hey, we have this idea and we're going to make it happen in a year. And it's like, no, this is something you've been working on already.
That's right.
So,
and if this works out for Microsoft, just like I will not, the three letters that will not be named. If, like, thank God that the internet was like, fuck you, like, collectively, you know?
Yeah.
But if this becomes like the new norm, we could have to go through, at the very least, another loot box. Remember the loot box thing? It was like 2016 through it was probably even 2015. Let's not lie. 2015 to fucking 2019 was like the age of the loot box.
Yep.
It took forever to get away from that. I don't know if I want to deal with an entire age of real-time real ads playing in my fucking escapism. Do you not know what video games are for? To escape the shitty world that we live in, to try to, like, basically plug our fucking ears and close our eyes for 20 minutes so that we can get away from the horror that is what is going on in this planet.
Oh yeah.
Like,
and what's immediately coming to my mind, have you seen Ready Player One?
Mm-hmm.
You remember that one scene where he's sitting there saying, hey, once we take over the net, then we can cover effectively 80% of the person's vision before they start having seizures. And it's like, wait, what? Huh?
Right. And we, like, we are getting close to a place. It's not like obviously 80%, but like we're getting to a place where they're trying to hey, what's going on, buddy?
They're at least trying to get to there is the thing, unfortunately.
Right. Yeah, like I just can't believe that, like, it just feels bad that, like, we are seeing the literal. Now again, a company's a company and they have to make money and, like, whatever.
Right.
But we have to come to a middle ground between us as customers and you as a major conglomerate shoving shit down our throat. I remember, I think it was the second or third. Right, that's right.
This is what the companies will pay attention to. The money. If you sit there and say, no, we don't want to fucking support this with our money, they'll sit there and say, okay,
let's
do something
Yes.
else.
Right, moving on. They're like, it'll be another horrible pyramid scheme in 3 more years.
Yeah.
Like I remember seeing The Matrix, the second one, when it came out, and I was like, now I get it. It's really green, right? That's like the color is thematic, but Heineken was like in every other shot. Like go back and rewatch that movie.
Oh yeah.
And just play Spot the Heineken. Try to take a shot for every Heineken fucking shout out. You'll be fucking dead within like an hour and a half.
Oh yeah, easily.
Speaking of which, cheers.
Yes.
You never see Bush Light ruining anything. You know what I'm saying? Except for maybe NASCAR, because I don't watch NASCAR, but yeah, I don't know. I just keep coming back to that. Like that I'm worried about the landscape that we're all leaving to our kids, frankly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the way that like we're gonna leave them in this state where, yeah, you're right, it's not gonna be loot crates, but there's gonna be some frighteners that are gonna come around your house. You play that game? Cool. Turn around. What money you got on you? All right, $6. All right, we're gonna be back next week. Better be better next week. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, or mind washing us with this fucking advertising.
Oh yeah, very much so.
I used to escape to video games to get away. You know?
Yep.
Like, God bless.
The thing that I could already see, especially if they obviously they'll be using like real ads.
Yeah.
But the thing that's really gonna be scary, to be honest, is like ads for products is one thing. But if they start pulling in ads, depending on the time of year or what year it is, political ads.
Yeah.
Oh dear God.
I didn't even think about that. Or how about shady ass companies?
Yep.
Like companies that like I wouldn't want to support, and then they're gonna be. Oh God, I didn't even think about that. God, we live in a fucking. We are so close to a dystopian nightmare world. It's like crazy. We're like walking on a knife edge here.
And yet everybody's willing to topple it over and be like, hey, let's welcome all dystopia, because that's fun.
It's that Kent Brockman Simpsons thing where like I for one welcome our ant overlords and we'd like to offer my services in rustling up the rest of the what do you call them, necrosants or something. Like it's like, oh God damn it.
Yep.
Yeah,
it's like,
I hate to see it. And this is an industry that I love more than anything, and I just don't want to see it like become this cesspool of. It becomes like FM radio, you know?
Yeah.
Like, god damn, dude. Every time I have to listen to FM radio, I'm like, oh.
Yep.
All right, I'm done. That was a very long rant. Sorry, guys. Appreciate you for being here.
Yeah, that's okay. I have some more stuff we can rant about too.
No, and I'm not sorry. I really think we should all talk about these things. Let's have these conversations, people.
Yes. Okay, do we want to go with Elden Ring or do we want to go with another conversation piece?
Let's do one more conversation, and then we can do Elden Ring to really close it out.
Okay.
We're on this good clip.
Fortunately, it's not. Well, it's kind of bashing on Activision Blizzard. Overwatch.
Okay.
They announced a new character, Sojourn, who is a black female.
Okay.
The character was originally spotted in background videos in the game 6 years ago.
Okay.
This is the first black female in the game. In Overwatch.
Overwatch doesn't have a black female?
No.
Holy shit.
And if you want, I can pull up the roster of characters right now.
I mean, I'm running through it in my head. Yeah, I guess you're right. Holy shit.
Because, let's see here.
You know, 20 fucking what, 15 or 16?
16 is when this character was first spotted in the game. So it was like brand new 2016, 2015, somewhere in there.
Holy shit.
Sombra. People will mistake her as being
Latino?
Black. She's Mexican.
No, she's Latino.
Symmetra. Indian.
Yeah. Anna.
Widowmaker.
No, she's an old white guy.
Widowmaker.
They'd rather put in old white ladies than
Yes,
they'd
exactly.
rather put in like
Exactly, because you
black
look at their
woman.
entire cast, and what have they got? They have 3 black guys,
Yep, Doomfist.
Doomfist, Lucio, and
Lucio,
Baptiste.
yeah. Oh yeah, Baptiste. I never played with him. Yeah.
They have 2 robots, Bastion and Zenyatta. Winston, a fucking gorilla.
Oh.
A hamster, Wrecking Ball.
Oh yeah. God, this does not bode well.
After that, as far as like other characters, there's Sombra, Symmetra.
Oh.
And that's like all the other non-white people in the game.
Dude, my buddy Kay, she's black. She's like, Jesus fucking Christ, they know how many cosplayers could have supported this with this representation. Like, I'm over here cosplaying every tan purple, although I will say dark skin supremacy win. And her sister had to do Lucio.
Ooh.
That's fucked up, dude. I can't believe I never even thought of that either. Wow, dude. Good God. It took them 6 years. Oh, that's brutal, dude.
There are 20 other characters.
Good God.
I will say 19 of which are white because Widowmaker paints herself purple.
Did she paint herself? I thought she was just purple for some reason. I don't know.
Either she paints herself purple or I don't know. She's French she's French in background though, for the character wise.
Okay. I thought it was because of the augmentation that's why she was purple. That's what I thought.
I don't play the game.
mean, there's no fucking lore. You know what I'm saying? Like there's like the videos, but there's no like lore.
Yeah, and even then, the videos don't really tie any of the characters together for the most part.
Right. It's right. Unlike fucking, I will say, big shout out, like fucking, at least Valorant.
Yes.
Does have like a storyline and like
yeah. And I'll be honest, I have not even played Valorant. I've actually played Overwatch.
Oh.
The Valorant like snippets of story I can follow.
Right.
The Overwatch shit, it's like, oh look, someone just barfed on the table. Oh, let's make lore out of this, and it's like. Huh?
So apparently, Widowmaker, her skin turned purple due to torture, is why she's purple.
Ah, okay. Well.
So wait, so is there even a release date or a name for this new character?
Sojourn. Sojourn is the name. I think the character's out already.
Okay.
I don't remember if it was, hey, she's being released now, or if it was going to be like an upcoming patch.
Next patch, yeah.
Yeah.
God damn, dude.
But here's the thing that I find really, really funny with just Activision Blizzard and Overwatch in general. And this is a quote from a 2019 interview with Jeff Kaplan, the former director of Overwatch.
Yeah.
The real value of Overwatch inclusivity is the idea we are open-minded and that we want everybody to feel welcome in the universe. And that result of that is diversity. So that's why you have 20 characters out of the...
Which are robots, one of which is a monkey.
Well, no. There are 20 characters that are white.
Oh!
Mm-hmm.
Jesus. Well, wait, is May in there? Because isn't she Chinese? May is Chinese.
If she is, they do not portray her that way very much at all.
I agree.
Like, they just bleached her white and said, hey, look... White chick,
but she is Chinese. But yeah, that's definitely we can call that whitewashing.
Nationality Chinese.
Yeah, she's definitely Chinese.
But of the, let's see here, 20, 28, 30 of the 35 characters, 20 of them are white.
Good Lord, bruv.
Then there are 2 animals, 3 robots, and then the remaining handful are other nationalities. And it's like, Activision Blizzard, you really needed to do better a long time ago.
You must be.
Dude, I am legitimately. I just Googled how many fucking black women are just in the United States. 11% of
Yeah.
just the United States.
Yeah.
Holy fucking shit, man. That is garbage. Good God. Suck a dick, Activision Blizzard. Like, seriously? God damn, that's fucking bad. And she was in the game for 6 years.
Mhm.
Spotted as a background character.
Yep.
God, if that's not marginalizing, like, isn't that the definition?
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
Okay.
Here's the fun thing. The quote continues. I would hate for the diversity to feel pandered, like we just had a spreadsheet with a bunch of checkboxes. So that's why, oh, look, new character, white guy. New character, white guy. New character, white guy. New character, white chick. It's like, so instead of having diversity, your diversity, Activision Blizzard is, oh, is he white? Yep, okay, that's diverse. I mean, it's like, come on.
Oh wait, and Farah had like tan skin, I guess, and she's Egyptian, and that's like the closest that I can even think of.
Farah?
Yeah.
Oh, Farah.
Cool rocket.
Yeah. Yeah. Her.
My main baby.
Ah.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah, she was Egyptian. Yep.
How do you use a spreadsheet, right? Like, seriously, do you know how a spreadsheet works? Do you know how a pie chart works? 11%, like 11%.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
okay. And that's in America. That's literally also just America. That's not the planet.
Yeah.
Like, oh God, that's bad. God, they suck so bad. It's like embarrassingly bad.
Mm-hmm. Especially when apparently a quick rundown of some of her abilities. Her ulti. You know Hanzo, how he's got like that spiraling twin dragon bullshit thing that hits you from across the screen, across the level, because it goes through walls.
And he's Japanese.
It's back. She has it. Except it's guns. Wow, how original there.
It's not. Oh wait, so it actually okay.
She basically pulled Marvel vs. Capcom. Jill Valentine, her ultimate, she pulls out like that giant laser cannon. That's what Sojourn does. She pulls out like a giant laser cannon and just
Unibeam. She's got Unibeam.
Yeah.
And Unibeam.
And it's like, okay, can you come up with something original? Nope.
That's fucking ridiculous, like on so many levels. Blue, no problem, man. Like, of course, like, and you know, we're here every week. We try our best. And thank you for coming over. And you get some sleep.
Yep. Thank you, Blue, for stopping by.
Yeah. Okay. So I didn't want to say that, but thank God you're here because, okay. So Kay was like, because that's what I was thinking too. She was like, so they finally add a black female character and her ultimate is guns.
Yep.
Right? Like, I would much prefer a unibeam, like where she like opened her chest and like it did like a big unibeam. Cool. Like, but just more guns. Not at all. Ugh. Yeah, marginalized and stereotype. Like, huge stereotype. Ooh, man, that is...
Original lineup was more diverse. They added less and less as they kept kept going. Yeah, they were a lot more diverse when it first launched.
Right.
But
they still did not have a fucking goddamn black woman. Yeah. Like, you know?
Yeah.
Shit. You could have made... I would have been totally cool, like Moira, the girl who has like the heal beam and the destructo beam. That would have been cool. Like, that would have been cool.
Yep.
Nope. Redhead. Like a weird... God.
Yep.
God. Fuck you, Activision. like, I just... Like, I know we say this almost every week, but like, seriously. Fuck you, Activision. I really hope you get good. I hope all your CEOs and fucking... I hope they should have almost set up a guillotine. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, sorry. Like, no golden parachute for you. Woof woof. And it's just shaka. Like, God. That's bad. That's bad. Oh my God. Okay. All right. So, let's talk about something more fun for the love of. Oh God, I'm, like pitting out.
Oh
It's
yeah,
so fucking annoying. Okay, all right, moving on. So you got Elden Ring stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Moira was gonna be black. I know, right? That's what I thought too. Right, she's like a mad scientist. Like, dude, mad scientist, like fucking black chick would have been awesome.
Oh god, yeah.
Like, why, like, right? That would have been dope as shit. Yeah, like, yep, yeah, I agree.
Yep.
I completely agree.
Very much so.
Educating black women in science. Yep, you're right. It would have been poignant. That would have been top. Whatever. Fucking.
Oh
Activision
yeah,
literally.
I've seen that too, Kratos. Death of a Game. It's a YouTube video
Oh yeah,
series.
yeah. I watched that series.
Yeah,
Yep.
they did Overwatch, and basically how Overwatch from the get-go was set up to fail. It boomed and then very quickly fell right back off because Activision Blizzard had no fucking clue as to how to balance it.
Yep. Do you want to talk about Elden Ring?
We can.
Okay. We only got like 15 minutes, so.
Well, what I've got is definitely gonna be like 2 minutes.
Oh well, okay. Okay.
I don't know. It might be a little bit longer than that, but it won't fill 15 minutes. I guarantee you that.
Okay. Well, I mean, whatever. Let's just shoot the shit. Whatever.
But yeah, as far as Elden Ring goes, the new any percent speedrun,
Oh yeah.
no restriction, world record is now mind-numbingly fast to the point of it's less than 7 minutes. It's 6 minutes 59 seconds, set by Distortion 2. At which point, this whole category to me raises a number of questions, starting with at what point is it considered playing the game? Considering he's using zips, which are hardware dependent, frame rate dependent, finicky, not fully understood as far as how far they launch you. They can only be done, well, I shouldn't say they can only be done. They are a heck of a lot easier to do on PC versus console, because typically those that do them on PC, they're using mouse and keyboard to do the zip, not necessarily the rest of whatever they're playing, but to do the zip themselves. But more specifically, other than at what point is this considered playing the game, and at what point is this considered a dead category because the record has been driven so far down, it's now below 7 minutes. So
that happens sometimes in speedruns too.
Yeah.
Where it just becomes like to the point where it's like, ugh, like, okay.
Yeah.
Good job. Like, this has been well documented. Like,
that's his own category, you would say? Well, it already is. It's the any percent no restrictions. And I watched him, Distortion 2, do this, and it's like, okay, start the game. For one, they're already using a auto splitter for speedruns. So basically what the auto splitter does is whenever you hit a loading screen, it pauses the time. The instant you regain ability to do anything in game, the timer starts up again. If you quit out, it stops the time. And once you load back in, it starts it up again, kind of a thing. So it's already not using what's considered RTA or real time. It's just auto-splitting only active play. But considering what's going on in this speedrun is, once he hits the main shore of the game, he's already halfway across the game because he's using zips.
Right.
And like I said, because you missed it, the zips are hardware dependent, they're frame rate dependent, they basically have to be done on mouse and keyboard, and they're not 100% understood.
Right.
Like, you have to if you want to even try them, you have to be doing 60 frames a second. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Because basically, if you get good at 60 frames a second, you're going to hit it every time, kind of a thing. If the game drops even to 59, it all of a sudden goes from you got like a 95% chance to hit it to you have maybe a 1% chance to hit it.
Oh, Jesus.
That's how much it drops. And it's like, huh?
Yeah, that's like in my again, I like pure speed runs.
Yes.
Skill, no fucking hacks, no like if it's an older game and there's some like shit you can do to walls and stuff like to go through and clipping and stuff, that's fine. But I hate watching PC runs. It bores the ever living shit out of me. Like there's just like I don't know. Like I get it. It takes still a lot of time and effort to get to that place. But I find it infinitely boring.
Right.
So.
It's not the content you want to watch. You would rather watch like a all bosses speed run, which that is actually a category, and it takes, last I knew, about 11 hours.
Right. See, I 100% would put that on, watch 2 hours of it while I'm farting around on my phone, and that to me is a good speed run, and then fall asleep to it, and then wake up, and then go, oh shit, we're close to the end, like you know what I'm saying, or put it on before work or whatever. That to me is. That's primo stuff. Yep. So last thing I want to talk about Elden Ring. Have you seen that there has been a person floating around servers?
I already know what you're talking about.
Let me solo her.
Yep.
And so this person made a character, and he or she is going in butt ass naked with fisticuffs and his fisticuffs on just bare knuckle boxing. And his or their or hers routine is the gamer tag says it all. Let me solo her.
Yeah.
And so if you get this person into your game, you basically summon and you go, oh, and
then put the controller down and walk away.
Yep, and he just runs up and goes, bah, 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 and he fucking like Fist of the North Stars this person to fight like whatever boss you're on to death. I like that for a couple of reasons, but mainly that person's doing it for the community too, right?
Yeah.
Like that's just hilarious.
Yeah.
There's no griefing in that. Like it's just fun, like and hilarious. And frankly, if that wasn't like if I was trying to like summon, not that I ever fucking really do, but and I saw the gamer tag, I'd be like, fuck yeah, I gotta see this. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I need to see that shit.
Yep. I was gonna say, as far as the with just using fists, last I heard, it was they were again going in butt naked except for a pot on the head, and that's just for S&Gs. But then also using dual katanas. So I didn't know that they had moved it, like stepped it up a notch to just being fisticuffs. And it's like, oh dang.
Yep. And
insane.
I'm assuming in that person's head they're going, oh, like if I don't hear auras while you're like duffing somebody out, I feel like you're doing it wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
That was the last thing I had tonight. What about you?
The only other thing I've got for Elden Ring is just patch notes. Just kind of going over what all they did. Some of them are interesting. Unfortunately, I know you're not very thrilled about this, but Spells got a big buff, unfortunately.
What is it? What fucking universe do spells need buffs? In what fucking world do spells need buffs? I am fucking doing the God, I'm climbing up the side of the mountain. Y'all motherfuckers are riding a ski lift up the side, and you need buffs? Get the fuck out of here with that shit. Get the fuck out of here, you mage fuck. I'm gonna invade you the next time I see you and unga bunga your ass into the goddamn dirt.
Well, I will say this. Sorceries and incantations did get a buff, mainly in increased speed, decrease recovery time. So that was not really needed, even in my opinion. That was not needed.
Right? Like the one thing that was low.
Yeah.
Like
they did increase attack speed and recovery time, though. Well, not increase, but they did buff. So increase attack speed, lower recovery time of colossal weapons. So like
Me.
Berserk Sword.
That's me. Yeah, it's me.
Yeah.
That's all my shit. All
Yeah.
my shit is Colossus. So, okay, well.
That is like perfect because those type of weapons needed it big time.
You think?
Yeah.
I'm playing with them. Yes, you think? But you
Yeah.
know what? I've done it. Like, I've been doing it.
Yep.
I beat fucking Ragna fucking day one. No fucking no nerfs, no buff. I like, dude. I am hard running this bastard. Whatever. Fine.
There are some things that did also get just straight up nerfs because the buildups for blood and madness on those abilities were too much. So it's
Thank
like, okay,
God.
fine. Well, it's
no,
three that got nerfed. So don't think they went too far with that.
Okay.
Honestly, most everything in the patch notes was these things got buffed. They went more with buffs than nerfs.
Okay.
So
that's fine too.
because even
you know
weapon
what?
skills got buffed.
If like, I will say this, okay, I am a fan of Yoshihiro Ono. Was the lead designer on Street Fighter 4 and 5 for a very long time. He has one of my most favorite quotes of all time. Now, this is also designer Alex talking, not just normal game Alex. This is the designer speaking. If everyone is broken, then no one is broken. If everything is OP, then nothing is OP. Which I completely I live my life by that. Like, that is a design philosophy that I completely believe in. This is still not that. Like, just putting it out there.
Yeah.
But whatever, it's fine. Yeah. Well, at least that's something. You know what I'm gonna do? So on my lore run that I'm gonna do when I'm done with this one, I'm gonna do a perfumer run. I've never seen a single person make a perfumer. Not a single person. So I'm gonna do something really weird, and I'm gonna be a perfumer. I'm gonna throw fucking salt and vinegar and make everybody into delicious crisps. That's like that's my whole plan for my perfume run, which I'm sure is gonna drive me absolutely mad.
Oh yeah, especially considering you're going to be needing a lot of materials for that.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
But I'm going to do it because I'm going to make it's going to be. I'm going to finish this one. I'm picking some numbers. I'm just roughing it. It's going to probably take me another month, probably to like completely be like, all right, good enough, did it. To my point of satisfaction, I still have not looked up a single goddamn thing, like a fucking madman. Next one, I am going to look some stuff up. I'm going to use the powers of the internet. I'm going to harness the power of 1997 and use the internet on my next run. But yeah. All right. Should we, what?
The one final thing I want to say that caught my eye in the patch notes here was a bug fix. Fixed a bug that allowed unauthorized items to be passed to another player.
Yeah, the underpants thing.
Yeah. They were FromSoft was using that item because it wasn't used in the game anywhere.
Right.
They were using that item to detect who's cheating and who's not.
Right.
So it's like, okay, they're now taking away the tool that the assholes were using to get people banned.
Yeah.
Or at least that.
Thank God.
That's the only item I can think of that has drawn attention that is not supposed to be able to be traded.
To be fair, that was in debug code.
Yes.
Like, it got found by like digging in the source code.
Yes.
So.
And actually, hackers. I take that back. It is used one place.
Okay.
It is used on Fia. She actually has it on underneath her gown.
Oh.
Because it's the deathbed underwear. So
there's always got to be some creepy guy who brings in underpants into it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't know.
You shrugged your shoulders like it was you, motherfucker.
You found me out. No, see, actually, Alex, I'm just tech support.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. All right, let's go say goodbye.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you, Rich's chat. Really appreciate, as always, very, very much appreciate. And next week, Tuesday, 9:00, we'll be here again.
Unless we're late.
Unless we're a little bit late.
But yes,
talking about crazy shit.
yeah. Thank you, Alex, the chat, for being here as well. Always great to have you here, and we love chatting with you guys too.
Mm-hmm.
So, see you in a little bit.
Peace.
Yep. Bye. All right, guys. That'll be it for me tonight. As always, it's so much fun doing the talk show because we literally just, like, I find items to talk about, Alex finds items to talk about, and we just talk about them. Some of them get us both riled up as far as, like, massively voicing our opinions. Some of them are just like, hey, this dumbass bought an NFT and is trying to sell it for an ass ton more and is not even making 1/100th of his money back on the highest bid, so fuck him. But it's all said and done. It's all fun. I mean, hell, we are sitting here drinking on stream and having fun, just relaxing, talking about video games. It's always good. But yeah, we do this every Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time. So there's always that. As far as the rest of the regular stream, tomorrow I should be back tomorrow. I don't know if I kind of want to continue the Dex Faith run that we're doing in Dark Souls, or not Dark Souls, in Elden Ring, now that we've beaten it with the mage, which if you guys want to, in the VODs and collections, you can go check out not only the stream from yesterday, which is the stream where we beat the final boss of Elden Ring with our mage build, but also in the collections you can check out 3 of the 6 endings if you don't care about spoilers. If you do, then you may not want to watch them. So there's that. In my first playthrough, we have not cleared everything that we wanted to, so this playthrough that we're doing now is going to be focused more on some of the things that we missed, and I do know that there are quite a few things, because I've never fought Millennia. I've never even found her yet, so it's like, okay, we're gonna try going to find that. But yeah, that's tomorrow. We're gonna be working on Elden Ring. Friday we're doing co-op with Storm Shield, playing some more Lost Ark. Saturday we'll more than likely be back with more Elden Ring, and then Sunday I don't know if I'll be doing a sandbox game or not. Depends on how things are. But I look forward to seeing you guys here. As always, if you've enjoyed the stream, by all means, please feel free, hit that follow button. You can also follow on Twitter and Discord to be updated with all sorts of things. And I will catch you guys later.